Can't believe you've done this.
Salute.
Cheers, fella.
It's been interesting. It's been emotional. It's been every emotion and feeling you could possibly imagine, and more. And why are you looking at me weird?
What the hell are you talking about?
I have no idea.
Oh, right, I thought that was us. That was us starting. Well, we might as well start if we're recording just now. Welcome to a special, bonus, collaborative, hybrid, extra podcast. No, this is not the Richard Dickson podcast. No, this is not, I don't even know what yours is. It's not Properly Successful Paul McFadden anyway, because here we are in Marbella. We've just brought a bunch of our clients over here, had an absolutely insane retreat. So this is going to be our debrief. We're not going to hold anything back. This is going to be all the positives. There was no negatives, maybe a little bit of cheekiness and hilarity as well, but it's been an absolutely mad couple of days. It's been really awesome. My first time doing a retreat, and it's been really good. What's your thoughts? You think we done okay?
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, every day just kept on getting better and better. Feedback's been amazing, and it really helps when you've got such a great group of people, you know? And I guess that's testament to the people that we bring into the masterminds as well, you know, making sure there's the right fit, because everybody's here not only to have a great time, because of course we're in Marbella, but to also learn in a very different environment. And it's not necessarily in here where you're learning and we're sharing our best stuff, especially about how to grow and scale a business. But it's just the collaborations, the conversations that people have at dinner, or when we're all just out in the boat, and that there is where the magic happens.
Do you know what's so funny, right? Because we work with, like, everyone here is a business owner, right? This isn't like a biz op thing. This is about helping people scale and stuff, right? So we were flying from Glasgow, and I was sitting on the plane, pardon me, and I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? Like, this is my first time doing a retreat. I'm forgetting that everybody is Scottish, basically, but I'm having this, like, moment of real happiness, thinking we're going to get there. Some of the guys that got there a lot earlier, they're all going to be chilling out, waiting for us. I think we kind of mistook the fact that it's all highly overworked business owners, and we came and basically everybody who got here early was like absolutely pissed, which was pretty funny, to be honest. But that's just what happens sometimes when you let people let their hair down. See, at the end of the day, like, we know ourselves, and all the guys that joined us in here will know as well, just sometimes the sheer hours and the boxes you need to tick, whilst also for a lot of them managing, having, like, you know, a wife and kids and all that kind of stuff, it can be so hard. So nobody got like arrested or anything. It didn't end up like The Hangover, which was fantastic, but it was pretty funny just rocking up and seeing. It was almost like the reaction we got from Craig Donachie was he almost looked like he was doing something bad in school, and the teacher just walked in the room. Like, I walked outside and he was sitting with his pipe in his hand, and he was like putting it back down. I was like, you can't make yourself like unpitched now, you are like steaming. That's just how it is. But I think my highlight definitely was the jet skis. No, my highlight was seeing Artem Dovbyk last night.
That was a bit nuts, wasn't it?
Mate,
it was
that was
like celebrity
crazy
after celebrity. The best part last night though was, so you need to picture this, right? So we arrived a little bit early at such a unbelievable setting in the setup in terms of all the restaurants, you know? And then you're walking ahead to the restaurant, everybody's walking behind you, so you're obviously leading everyone to get to the restaurant. And you know, you had Gary and Alison there with the cameras and everything else, and it was like this entourage, and I'm at the back, and then this woman comes up to go, excuse me, is that a celebrity? Is that a celebrity? And I'm like, yeah, him up there, that guy there. It's like, Richard's shouting up to you, and you're looking down. It's like, and she's getting all shy. She's like, no. Like, honestly. And it's because, I guess, you just see celebrity after celebrity up there. It's unbelievable.
And mate, obviously people won't know that you're being followed by like a big group of your clients who you are leading to take into the restaurant. They'll just think it's like a group of people. Then you see two guys with cameras recording. You might be thinking, oh, you know, are they recording as part of my team, which they were, or are they paparazzi or something like that? And do you know what? When you waved to me, I looked down, I seen the woman, and I was like, oh, it must be, she was laughing so much, that I was like, it must be someone Paul knows. So I went to start walking down, and then someone said to me, like Tony or something said to me, bro, he's just told that woman that you're really famous. So then for a laugh, I just started shaking people's hands, and I was like, just waved at her and walked away. But like, she was do you know what though? Strip that back for a second. As much as that's so funny, this is absolutely what's wrong with society today. Like, absolutely what's wrong, because she had no idea who I was, just because I was walking in a nice bit in Puente Romano, people following me with cameras on me. I could have definitely walked down there with how beaming she was and being like, oh, give me your number or something like that, and like went out with her or something like that, just off the basis that she thought, she knew nothing about me. I could be famous because, I don't know, I was the Tinder swindler for all she knows. Do you know, like it could be for any reason. But for me, see, just walking into the Nobu Hotel bit before you get into the back at the restaurant, and just Artem Dovbyk being there was so cool. For those of you who don't know who that is, he's like striker for Ukraine, plays for Girona. He's like one of the best strikers in La Liga. And he just walked past me, and he's also in my ultimate team. He's my highest goal scorer in FIFA. And I was looking, I was just like, and I'm grabbing Tony, and I'm like, bro, that's Dovbyk. And he's like, no way, and it was. And then we all sat down, and I was having to explain to some people who don't watch La Liga and stuff like, oh yeah, it's Artem Dovbyk, and people were like, oh wow, like a footballer in here, that's really cool. And then we sat down. 2 minutes later, Santi Cazorla sitting there with his family. So then everyone starts going, all right, we know who Santi Cazorla is. 5 minutes later, Emil Smith-Rowe comes in. He's unbelievable. Everyone started to go, all right, we know who that is. 5 minutes after that, Mikel Arteta comes in. It was just like constant, man. And I think the great thing is for so many of the, like you said, that was the icing on the cake. It was the great thing for so many of those people in there is like, even though they're such great business owners, they don't often take that much time to enjoy stuff. And when they do enjoy stuff, they probably do typical British kind of stuff. Go on a 2-week all-inclusive holiday with their missus and kids and just chill out. Whereas ticking some of the boxes that we got to over the past couple of days was just like way, way, way more exciting. You know, I just thought it was so much more fun, man. So much more fun.
I love about Masterminds is that, you know, people come here with a bit of anticipation, you know?
Yeah.
There's a bit of feeling like, should I even be here? You know, if I got value to offer to others, you know, and I think that that's also testament to everybody because everybody was openly sharing, you know, whether it was in the room or just at dinner or, you know, when we're just hanging out, and everybody's got something to offer.
Yeah.
And you can always learn from someone, and you could start to see the room change day by day because people are getting to know one another, they're getting excited, opening up. And that's what I love about Masterminds because, you know, it's everyone's just sharing. They're just sharing their challenges, they're sharing their successes, and then people asking questions and people being open, and you're learning so much. And not one person, since I was chatting to everybody was like, yeah, I never got much value from this. They were like, I've got too much value. I've got like 16 different things. I need to go away and just focus on the 3 right now, and then I'm going to implement that. And I'm going to touch base with this person, and then, you know, I could maybe collaborate with such a, and I'm like, it's just so good.
Mate, that's the coolest thing about Masterminds, right? Or not the coolest thing, sorry. The coolest thing is giving people the skills to go and ultimately grow their business, which benefits them, their families, and that. That's the best thing. But you'd be surprised someone looking at outside in who maybe has never really invested in their education or has never been to a mastermind. The amount of money that changes hands in a mastermind is ridiculous. Like, we're hearing people talking about it. I know we spoke about it yesterday, you know, deals that they're going to do together, like whether that's, you know, in construction or in bed, like just all these different types of deals, some of them worth over £500,000. And it's like, you bring all these people together, and it's the resourceful nature of entrepreneurs, isn't it? That they identify people, they identify, you know, what it is they do, but also in the least selfish but also selfish sense, they also identify how can that person's business benefit me? And ultimately that's not going to be a free transaction. They're going to look to transact and spend money with that person's business. And the great thing about our mastermind is that everybody looks after each other, you know? Nobody uses the fact that, oh, we're in the mastermind together to get a little bit more out of someone or to think, oh, they won't question that price because they absolutely trust me. People look after each other, they charge their worth and they give a great service. But they also, you know, will maybe head and squeeze that job in a couple of weeks earlier, whatever it may be. Like they're just really good at all working together as entrepreneurs normally are, which is just like so exciting to see. And it also makes the prospect of being in a mastermind just like even more exciting because you and I both understand like your education is not a cost. It's not. It just, anyone who says, oh, I spent, if you think that you spent on a certain program that you went and done or a certain mentorship or coaching, you haven't got what you should have got from that program. If your logic is I spent, it should always be if you got what you wanted from that program or that community or whatever, I invested in that. Like I invested in that and because investments gather a return, right? And the cool thing is that probably within the next 12 months, over half the people who came on this trip will have paid for every piece of education they have ever invested in their life with anyone ever, off the back of a handful of bits of business, they'll do it inside this one room. So not only are they getting such amazing like education and experiences, I mean, to be honest, if we'd said to these guys, we're deciding not to do any education for the next couple of days, we're just going to stay on the jet skis a little bit longer and do a bit more, I'm pretty sure nobody would have moaned, right? But I think we got that balance of education and fun stuff pretty bang on, to be honest, especially when, you know, I've never done a retreat before. I know you've done some different retreats and stuff like that, but like I've only ever been an attendee on past retreats in different places. So I was kind of thinking to myself, like, oh, I wonder how this is going to go, and controlling as much of it as possible. But, you know, there's so many different people wanting to do different things, but everybody just was so complimentary. You know what I mean? It's just like fantastic, mate. It's so exciting.
Yeah, I love what you're talking about there in terms of making an investment in yourself, because, you know, we get so caught up about investing in property, investing in stocks and shares, crypto, whatever it may be. You're investing, and it's amazing how people...
Crypto's fake anyway, that's not.
But it's amazing how people will just go and put their money in something, especially when it comes to crypto, and it's on the assumption it's going to go up. And as we know, you know, it's no idea. It's got all sorts of different fluctuations, incredibly volatile. And they'll do that because they want to make more money. And as much as, you know, I educate and help people to invest in property, and I've got a portfolio and I continue to invest and do deals, the best investment I've ever made has always been in my education, because it's going to masterminds, it's going to learn something. And for me, it's like, if I can just get one thing from the course that I pay for, whether it's an online program, whether it's an in-person thing, whether it's a mastermind, you know, regardless to the price, that one thing, if I can go and apply that, that's going to give me a far significant return.
Yeah.
And it's based on my implementations. It's in my control. So it's not like I'm investing in something and hoping that it does well. It's in my control. And that's how, I guess, everybody in this room, you know, that came here, they were thinking that. And it was a common, you know, conversations amongst each other where they were like, if I just go and do that there, I'm going to be able to add an extra 100 grand to my business.
Yeah.
You know? And it's quite funny because having a chat with a couple of the guys, and they're like, we've never done any of this stuff. You know, Campbell is in his early 40s, and he's like, Paul, I'm just getting exposed to this education stuff. Like, you know, following Richard's stuff, seeing your stuff. You know, I mean, I can't believe, like, Richard, this young guy, and he's getting involved in all this and learning. He's like, he can't comprehend that this even exists, and he's only getting it in his 40s. And he's like, I need to start coming to things and apply it. And he's super, super fired up and excited. It's like a whole new lease of life. And he's talking about how that's had a knock-on effect on people around him. And that's a common thing that I've seen in this room. Like, the people were coming up and saying, Paul, see, since I've been coming to these events, like, I'm getting compliments from other people for growing and changing for the better. Because business is incredibly lonely, right?
Yeah. Jeez.
In the sense of you're constantly having to grind to build something.
Do the same stuff every day, day after. People think it's new stuff every day. Nope, you do the same stuff every day, again and again and again.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to scale and grow a business, and you've got all the challenges that come with that.
Yeah.
From hiring staff, from putting money into marketing, from, you know, just everything that requires in the sense of time, resources, effort, money. And when you're doing all of that, it's just, you know, you're like, my God, how much I figure this all out? And then when you get around people, like your environment, it's like, fuck, there's other people that are facing the same challenges. I'm not alone. And we can have a conversation, have a chat. And then off the back of that, you feel like, fuck, I found my kind of inner circle. I found my environment of people that actually want to support me, they want to help me, they want to share. And there's many other people in business who's like, no, I'll never talk to someone else. If I'm in this industry, I won't talk to anyone, because if I tell them stuff, I'm going to tell them my secrets, and then they become a competition, and don't realise that scarcity mindset is the very thing that holds them back.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I've never had a bad experience at any mastermind, whether it be any of ours that we run or any of the ones that I've attended in the past. I've never had like a a bad egg in that group who like wouldn't share. I am sure they exist though. I'm sure like someone has one. But that's why I'm so grateful about the caliber of people we have in our room, is that like there's not even a hesitation. If someone's talking about an amazing thing that's working in the business and another attendee says, oh, can you break that down for me? It's not like oh, well, yeah, sure, because they feel like because they're here, they need to do it and all that. Everyone just openly shares, because there's like, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. There is so much work out there for everyone, you know, like so much. And we have some people in here who are in like super unique businesses, right? That I might never meet another person who does the same thing as them. And then we have some people who like, with respect, the industry they're in, businesses are 10 a penny. They're just really good at what they do. So it's amazing having that bit of diversity just for everyone to kind of share together. My question, right? I've got a couple of ideas in my head. Retreat 2025, you know we're going to be doing it, right? Spoke to everyone last night whilst we were at Nobu, just such a great vibe, the music going and stuff. And I said to everyone that was with us, you know, we had, including the team, like over 20 people with us here. You know, organising a trip like this is no mean feat. Elizabeth has done amazing holding it together. Alexa helping with everything as we've been here in the trip too. And I said to everyone who's coming to Retreat 2025, they don't have a clue where it is, what dates, what we're going to be doing, like no idea. And absolutely everyone was just like 100% yes, like we're definitely going to be there, which is so cool for us, right? And it means we can plan a lot sooner and do a lot more. But location, where do you think? I've got a couple of places in my mind, right? But I was just wondering, where were you thinking? I wouldn't mind coming back to Marbella again, by the way. I love Marbella. And it's a nice wee ring to it, Marbella Mastermind. It's like a nice wee thing. We could make that like a staple event in our calendars. But is there anywhere else that you can think of that you would like to go?
There is a few. Like, I think you'll probably think the same place, but, you know, Dubai.
Oh,
you know,
I wasn't even thinking.
Not even thinking. No. The only challenge with Dubai, though, is it's a little bit further out. Not too far, but a little bit. But there's, you know, I just love Dubai. That's the thing. Yeah. And I think as an experience, it blows people's minds, you know, if they've never been there and saw all of that stuff as well. Yeah. Some of the retreats that I think would be great is the ones that are probably, you know, like going to Thailand or, you know, going to, you know,
Costa Rica. Wow.
Yeah.
Try and get me a missus. Huh?
But the challenge is, of course, is that it's just a distance. And I think that like Spain here, at Marbella, at Portugal, some great locations. You know, when you look at those places, you know, it's just across the pond as such, you know. There's some cracking places in the UK as well.
Oh yeah, we just done that. I'm not even going to try and say it cleverly, but some Welsh nonsense, right? But that place was absolutely fantastic.
Amazing.
And I think we could do, that would even be good for like a team retreat. It's like a team retreat and training, like our sales teams and stuff like that. You know, doing a big kind of retreat. Obviously you've got multiple partner companies and stuff, and you could just bring them all down to there. My thoughts, Dubai would be great, but in summer, it'd be tough, right? Really tough. And my promise is that I always try and make it somewhere that even, because how many people in Scotland just have a random assault on their criminal record? Do you get my point? Like my dad, for sure, like he can get into about 3 countries in the world. He's like the most normal guy ever. But like, I always think like, oh, imagine you rocked up somewhere like Dubai or America, and someone's like, you know, when they were 16, like they slide tackled an old lady, and now they're an astute business owner and they can't get in, and you have to send them back on their own. I would always feel quite bad if that happened. Dubai would be great, and lots of good supercar experiences there. Like the guys all love the jet skis this time, and you can maybe do one of those like the kind of drag strips they've got, like out in just a couple of different supercars, and everyone blast them out. It'd be so good. I have three in my head.
I'm interested because I've said the obvious ones.
Number 1 is Split in Croatia. It's got like over 1,000 islands, and I happen to know a guy who owns 2 pretty big yachts there. Like pretty big.
Sold. I don't need to know number 2, 3. Forget about it. I'm in.
So I think Split is beautiful.
So Split is just across from Dubrovnik as well, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dubrovnik. So Alex and I, we did Dubrovnik, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Split, I'm just sure you could get literally both the experiences that we did over there. Yeah. So now you're saying that, I'm starting to think about, God, we could have done this here, we could do it. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Loving it.
So that's one, Split. I don't think it's too hard to get to. I think flights and all that are really often really reasonable. Number 2, maybe it's way unreasonable, but I would love to do Monaco.
I'm in. All right, so we're doing 2 retreats.
2 retreats.
2 retreats next year.
Guys, Dubai retreat, Monaco retreat, Split retreat, Costa Rica. If you want to find the missus, that's the missus masterclass. Paul's going to take us through. Oh, geez, I forgot my third one now.
You've got your third one?
Aye, I just got way
two crackers.
I got too G'd up about those 2. Aye, Belfast. No, I'm joking. Let me think. Oh, no.
But Monaco would be brilliant.
Monaco would be sick.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Yeah?
I've never been.
I've not been in Monaco either. I thought you'd been.
No. I've never been. Mate, where is the other place that I had in my head? I had somewhere. I can't remember it now. But those 2 are absolute scorchers, I think. But see, every suggestion we just made there, Thailand's obviously a mad long flight. Like, that's crazy. And I think if we were going to Thailand, how I imagine it would really work for us and for the team and stuff like that, just thinking in that sense, I see, obviously, like, every year on year, our, number of clients that come and get, results from our programs just grows and grows and grows. If we can go out there and, like, pitch up us and our team for, like, 2 or 3 weeks, and then, have, like, week 1, maybe being, like, I don't know, you guys' platinum mastermind, like some of your higher performing property students and stuff like that, bring all those guys out. Have, like, the Growth Getters Mastermind the next 2 weeks, the guys that work a bit closer with me, but also with you as well, and they come to Mastermind, learn a lot of great stuff. Then the last week, maybe inviting all the one-to-one coaching clients for that last week. Do you get what I mean? So you're staggering it out. So we've got 3 weeks of totally different content. Everyone's going out there for a full week. And it doesn't mean the team are, like, jet lagged flying back and forth with that. You can just kind of, like...
It's going to be like a nightmare for the team. I mean, try to get the guys to want to come and work. I know. I mean, I'm sure they'll be all going...
Honestly, I looked over you guys' table before Gary had swapped over to being on our table, and, like, just seeing, Elizabeth, your sister and superstar PA, Alistair, your main video guy, Gary, my main video guy. I just looked and I went, these guys look so sad being at this multi-million fitted out restaurant, eating Michelin star food and all that. Like, it just must be the shittest job ever. And then this morning, Gary actually put in his notice.
Yeah, I was thinking, they're so unfulfilled, it's like, geez,
he said he was unhappy that I didn't buy a bottle of the Hennessy Paradise Cognac, which for a 50ml measure in Nobu is €3,250. He said he bumped me with his elbow, and the sentence he actually said to me was, "Hey, big boy, where's the bottle?" And I looked at him and I said, "Fella, you're on the Talisker 10s, that's absolutely plenty, that's Joe Maxey, man, that's sound, you're fine." And he actually swung a hook at me, but he missed, obviously.
By the way, so every morning we had JC,
the OG, biggest OG ever.
But I tell you, you're talking about Gary.
Oh, you said,
honestly,
this to me last night.
Shadow boxing, right? Next minute, guys getting attacked with a fucking bee or something else, right? Next minute, I've never seen somebody shadow box in my fucking life. Like, I was like, what the fuck? I've never seen nothing to Gary.
It was like those videos of Mike Tyson back in the day when he'd be shadow boxing, and he just started aggressively rolling. Gary, like, posted up on this random insect, started, like, jabbing at me.
I was fucking intimidated myself.
It was so funny, so funny. But I'm sure the team, if we can twist their elbows a bit, well, it's not, we have such an amazing team, right? With guys like, especially for me, like with Gary, I know that within reason, I could phone Gary and be like, "Gary, we're going to this place tomorrow." And he would just pack the camera bag and go, right? Now, 3 weeks is a little bit longer. That's going to take some negotiation with the missus and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it is work. Like, if you gave your staff an option of, do you want to work from Cambuslang? By the way, we have a lovely office in Cambuslang. It's probably the best done-up office in like a 10-mile radius. But if you gave them the option of, do you want to do your normal commute into work in Glasgow, or do you want to work from Thailand, from Split, from Monaco, from all these different places? Like, it's a no-brainer, I think, for 99% of people. Maybe unless you have like a newborn or something like that. But I think it's a no-brainer for absolutely everyone to go and want to do that. Yeah. And I think, like, over the next 12 months, I'm going to be proper plotting for this next event, just thinking, like, how do we get the absolute most out of it? And by the way, we could even do that structure of bringing the different groups anywhere we went. It wouldn't need to be Thailand. I'm just saying that to make the flight worth it, so you're not sitting there just groggy and dead. We get some old Thai guy to do Muay Thai with everyone, make them go jogging and that. But we can do that anywhere we went. It would be absolutely fantastic. And we've got so many high-performing clients. That's the cool thing. So we've got so many high-performing clients that deserve purely on merit to come and do stuff like this. So I think we'd have so many people wanting to come and attend that doing something a bit slightly more extended would be fantastic.
I think that it's because it's an experience as well. Like there's something different when you create something that's experiential, because we did things over the last few days that we can't even talk about in camera, right? Because private, it's confidential, and that's what makes the whole thing fun. So people are not sure, they know what they're getting, they get a cracking agenda and itinerary of the few days that they're going to be here, but throwing in those curveballs that they're like, weren't expecting it just makes it very special, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing that, I guess that's the thing that like makes people want to come back next year. Because even though the curiosity has been satiated for this event, they're thinking, what's Retreat 2025 going to look like? What is it going to be? Or what are we going to do? And next year, we had so much content that myself and you covered, and then great stuff from the members, that we literally didn't even need to bring any speakers. And we didn't feel like we missed anything from the event. But if we'd done something even just maybe a day longer next year, and maybe just bring in like someone really, really good on a specific topic, it would just be so special. Just add that, I think we've set the bar really high this year. I think when loads of people, you know what it's like, where you record your first ad, you do your first event, you speak on stage for the first time, you're generally that's going to be your worst performance, right? Now, you're a very experienced, educator and mentor. I'm getting there in my own career now in education and getting a lot more experience. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. But like this kind of event, we've got the skill set to be able to speak in front of people and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't matter. I was thinking, it's the first time we've done this. Like, we'll be able to say naturally some different little issues that you would like to iron out to make it even better next year. Now, I can think of like one, maybe two things. I'd be like, oh, you know what? Not even I would change, I would remove, but I would tweak that slightly. I would do this at that time instead, like very, very small changes. So I think we've set the bar pretty high, but it also means that we've got a really good framework for putting these retreats together. I'm sure people have done these and they've been an absolute nightmare, but also that can sometimes be down to the quality of the attendees.
I've been on retreats in Marbella and other locations where it's a villa or a certain place, and there's this event here is the best run, one of the best run retreats I've been to. John, as we know, the retreat that we just did there down in North Wales was outstanding as well. So, kudos to him. And I've been on a few, but this was one of the better ones. And as much as behind the scenes, it's a bit like we run larger scale events.
Yeah.
Like, we put on a show for everybody, and the audience love it. The feedback's outstanding. People get so much value, and there's a lot of chaos behind the scenes that a lot of people don't even realise. And in some way, it can make or break your team, but thankfully they just rise to the occasion and they show up. And I guess that's testament to every time we do these types of events, is that they're bringing the experience of having done retreats or having done bigger events into the other things that we do, and it's putting on just an unbelievable show, because both of us are strong on client focus in terms of not only the results from the content that we deliver that they can go and apply, but the experience as well. Because that's incredibly important. There'll be people in this room, they'll be talking about this for years to come. They'll always, I talk about the retreats that I've been to, like the ones I went to Malaysia and Singapore, and the hard record trainings and stuff like that. And, I talk about them all the time, everywhere, because I can vividly remember the experiences, experiential stuff. And that's why I think it'll be the same here. And we just keep on learning from this. And I know that the more that we do it, and we'll be looking at just to fine tune the things that people wouldn't even think about. And I always say this, details matter.
Oh yeah.
Details matter. And I've been on masterminds where you can't help but you critique. And I don't like to be that guy. And sometimes you give a wee bit of feedback, but at the same time, you're kind of like, it's not a place to do it. It's his event or their event. And I guess from my point of view, I look at it and go, great, I've learned all the things, not only from going to a mastermind, but the things that if I was doing something, not to make those mistakes as well.
That's one of the things I love about going to events, actually, like other people's events, is beyond the content. I just like to see how they do stuff. You know, that way? You just like to look at how much branding they're doing, or like, for example, going to AdCon with John a couple of weeks ago, and just looking at some of the stuff that he done and thinking, oh, like, what did we do at Financial Freedom Summit, for example, because similar size event, that I thought we done really well, and what stuff are they doing really well, that I think, oh, the next time we do a large scale event, I can take a couple little things from them. And that's one of the great things about going to events. And mate, we were talking about this the other day, the amount of times I go on someone's website, just have a scout about, and next thing I've spent £2,000-3,000 on programs just to go and look and see what people are doing, and or to sharpen a skill set of mine. We've been doing a lot of stuff with building out our Go High Level just now. Like, we have got, I checked it yesterday, we have got, in my opinion, one of the best built out, fully customizable, high level backends, and we're just gonna give it to the clients. Just give it to them, right? Whether they are in our Growth Getters program, which is like our entry level mentorship program, or whether they're one-to-one coaching clients or whoever, we've built all of this out totally custom, and just gonna give it all to them. So I've been in like a high level rabbit hole, and Richard Swan also, he's been in that same high level rabbit hole. I found a woman online who's like a big high level affiliate, but she's like done really well on the platform. And I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna go and like use this woman's thing. And I bought like a $97 high level guide, tripwire fun, straight away. How did I not see it coming, mate? Honestly, right?
Do you know what's crazy? We all know it's coming.
Mate, I didn't for like 5 minutes. I've been in them before, but I just didn't feel it. And then next thing, I felt like I was Dog Green Sector in Omaha Beach from Saving Private Ryan. All these explosions going off beside me, all these different programs hitting me. So I was like, right, okay, $97. The next thing comes up, it's like $1,000. So I'm like, $997, like 800 quid. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, right, it is a pretty good program, but then I'm like, no, I'm going to give myself information overload. Skip. Then when I click skip, she hits me with a 3Pay. She hits me with a 3Pay, like $330 or something. So I'm like, right, I'll buy it. But then I'm like, I'm not going to do the 3Pay. So I click back and I do the prepay, buy the whole program. And then the next thing was like another bundle that was like $800. I must have gave her about $2,500. And after I paid for it, it was like 3 a.m. that I was up just doing this stuff for whatever reason. And I woke up in the morning and had 6 missed calls from the team. And I was like, at least look at my address on like my billing statement and know it's like the middle of the night, But that's what I love about like just looking at other people's educational setups. And the thing is, like, in a lot of the masterminds that we're in, for example, Titan is like probably the number one mastermind in Europe for coaches, consultants and educators, I would say. I don't know of any other ones in Europe, especially the UK, but I think the biggest educators in Europe are mostly in the UK, to be honest. And even being down there, when people are asking different questions about their events and mentorship programs, everyone's like, oh, just come along. Like, come and see. Like, nobody's like trying to like gatekeep that or like hide it away. They're just like, the information plus come along and see how we do things. They're just like so open. And I guess we try and do the same thing as well, but I'm always trying to like look and see what people are doing and try and get a little bit more. If you could condense it into one highlight, something someone said to you over the past couple of days, something you've seen over the past couple of days, a share from the past couple of days, whatever it is, what has been like your number one highlight or moment with one of the attendees? Yeah, the good one with Craig, actually.
Yeah.
The tech, when you were saying...
The one with Craig was just, and this might sound so, but it's pretty impactful, and this means a lot to me, is when he turned around, and because he almost didn't make it here.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, and he's just turned around and said, like, I've been messaging my wife back home, and she messaged me and says, like, I'm just so proud of you and what you're doing, and coming here and learning all this stuff, because I know that you're going to get back and apply that in your business, and it's going to do well for us and our family. And amazing, it's just, man. It's those, like, you can talk about the fucking jet skis, you can talk about all of that stuff, right, which is all fun, but those moments, that's the things that really just hit here. Do you know what I mean? And hearing stuff like that, it's just like, man, that's amazing. Because when I was chatting to the boys this morning, Craig and Mark, who are who are business partners, you know, hearing more about the backstory as well and how driven they are. You know, and Mark and Craig was telling us about his upbringing, and it's very similar to ourselves. Very challenging, not having to grind through to get from his life, and you know, having his you know, his grandparents were there to kind of really lead him in a sense of to get that work ethic. And then Mark talks about how before the recession, how his dad with a great business, making a lot of money, which
Roughcasting, I believe. What they were doing,
was incredible for them. And then through a business partner and everything that happened in the recession, and you know, it kind of wiped him out. And Mark's like, I want to build that back up again. I believe that I should have that for the family again, build it all up, because his dad also works in their organisation.
What a great purpose, huh?
You know, and both of them, you could just sense that they're talking to me so passionate, so excited about things, sharing similar stories, and that's how I know that those two are, do you know that way you just know when someone's going to be successful?
Aye.
You just know through...
You work with enough people that you get to see the initial traits. You always get wild cards that surprise you, or you never took that much notice of and thought they were going to do something big. But then there's some people that just stick out like a sore thumb, I've found.
And when you say that, it's not the ones that come up and say to you, oh, look, this time next year, wait till you see me, what I'm going to do.
Oh yeah, I don't hear for that person after 3
Oh my
weeks.
God, those are the ones that stand out as in, yep, aye, sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's the ones that you can just... They've got a purpose, they've got a reason, they've got that desire, and there's always a story behind it. There's always a story of some sort, you know? And, you know, I often look back at myself, and there's so many like milestones when I look back and go, there was that there that got me to want to push myself and want more from life, want to escape the whole rat race and everything else. And it's just amazing when you have these conversations and you start to find out more about a person and what they actually genuinely want from life. So that's the moments for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, my G of the Week award definitely goes to Campbell White. Now, Campbell came and done like a media day with the team last week and stuff like that. You know, he works very closely with us, and he's doing a lot of great stuff for his business. He's been in business for over 20 years. He's survived and weathered a lot of storms, I am sure. Great entrepreneur. We're just fine tweaking a lot of his kind of online approaches, his advertising and stuff like that. Campbell came into a media day last week and he'd messaged me saying, you know, a bereavement was potentially going to happen to the family, an unwell family member and stuff like that, and he might need to cancel last minute. And we were like, yeah, totally fine. If you can come and do it, come and do it. If not, don't. And he came, he'd done his media day with Gary, absolutely smashed it. And then, unfortunately, a couple of days later, that member of his family passed away. And, you know, he sent me a message straight away to let me know. And he was saying, oh, you know, unfortunately, like, the funeral service is going to be on the Monday when we're in Marbella. And I was like, oh, I just thought that meant, like, you know, he's not going to be able to come. And I think that's what he thought at the start as well. And he decided he was going to come for, you know, the Saturday, the Sunday. And I thought he said he was leaving in the afternoon, the Monday or something like that. Like, I didn't pick him up right. And we've, you know, done a thing on Saturday and Sunday. And I felt kind of bad because I was like, Campbell's came on this trip, plus bereavement's happened. Like, it's not a nice experience because he feels these trips getting cut short and all that kind of stuff. And I came down for breakfast in the morning, he wasn't here, and Alexa said to me, oh no, he said he was flying at 3 a.m. I was like, geez, so even worse, right? And then Alexa was like, oh no, he's booked a flight back. And I was like, what? And she was like, oh yeah, he's flying home, he's going to the funeral service, he then left straight from the funeral service, left his bags here and all that, just went home, got changed out of his suit, stopped at a McDonald's, got changed out of his suit back into his normal clothes, and then had 20 minutes to get to Glasgow Airport before the gate shut, and managed to do it, and got back here for summer Monday night, for Tuesday all day, coming to Nobu with us, enjoying all that stuff, spending some time one-to-one with you as well, which was really awesome. He really, really appreciated that. And then heading back today. That's a G story. I love that. What a guy, mate. What a guy. And I would never have expected that. I'd have just been like, mate, go home, be with your family and all that. He was like, nope, home, back out, doing his thing. Absolutely amazing, mate. Loved it.
And again, that's another trait of successful people.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, it's just a commitment of, well, I know how important this is to be there and there, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to be present in both places, and you know, and just make it happen. And I guess it's just testament to everybody here and what they're going to get with the results.
Yeah, it's funny because even like Jamie Gemmell, who was one of the later attendees to come and join, you know, space had came up and we'd done a lot of work with Jamie previously, thought it would be a great room for him to get into. He's got £1 million plus business already and stuff, so we fit into what we needed for this room. And you know, when Eddie spoke to him on the phone before the trip, and he was like, Jamie, I need to speak to you for 2 minutes. Really cool opportunity to come on this retreat with Paul and Richard. Have you got anything on these dates? And he's like, oh, you know, the 30th is my daughter's birthday, 6th birthday, or whatever it is, right? And Eddie's like, let me explain anyway, just in case. Eddie tells him what we're getting up to over here, type of stuff we're doing, what he's going to learn, the type of quality businesses coming in his sector as well. And Jamie's like, right, give me 15 minutes, and phones back, and somehow managed to wangle it with his missus, which is just absolutely incredible. It probably helps when you have multiple kids. If you just had like one kid, absolute no-go. The fact he's got multiple, totally fine.
He's another example of someone who's got a very supportive partner as well.
Wow.
You know, which is amazing.
So hard to come by. Like, and I feel like so many, like Antonio's here, obviously he's my best mate as well, and that's awesome for me. Just having him here is just class, right? But like his missus Hannah, always super supportive of him with his business and stuff like that, just like so supportive. You with Alexna, like just everybody in here, I just feel like has someone, like the people who are married or in long-term relationships, engaged, all that kind of stuff, like they all just have someone who's happy to keep pushing them forward. Wait till they start cashing the chips in though. 5 years time, they want the Birkin, they want the, I don't know, other stuff that birds want, Chanel. They're going to be cashing their chips in soon, they're just building up a wee balance. Can they get them?
Good stuff. Well, it's that's kind of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bring us to an end. Got a bit of work to do. Planes to catch. You're staying here for a couple more days.
I am. I'm staying here for a wee bit. I may actually go and try and record some ads quickly.
Always on it. GG.
Yeah.
Proper growth getter.
Growth getters to the core. That's what I do, baby. That's what I do. Guys, thank you very much for joining us on this podcast. I really, really appreciate it. But a debrief of our Marbella Mastermind, which has been fantastic. And look, if you've been watching on our socials over the past couple of days, if you follow myself or Paul or any of our business accounts, or maybe this is your first time seeing one of the things that we're talking about and you're thinking, I'm a business owner, maybe you're not exactly where you want to be, you might only be at 2 or 3K a month, or you know, maybe you're hitting those 10K months, you really want to scale up to being a 100K per month entrepreneur, and you're thinking, I would love to be on one of these trips with guys like Paul, guys like Richard, with the clients that they've got. That's something that would be so amazing for me. Well, if you go into either the show notes, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or you go into the bio if you're listening on YouTube, you'll be able to see a link where you can apply for our Growth Getters program. This program is going to help you scale your business, get better online, generate hotter leads, and that is the first step to being inside of our educational community and getting yourself on a path to come along and joining us next year, whether that's in Monaco, Split, wherever we decide to go. We would love to have you there, and it would be great to have you inside one of our programs as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you very soon.